Radio Vision Network. I am Mark Cook, and I am glad that you have joined me this morning because I'm jumping right on the Skype line. We're going right to Neil Villapiano. Good morning, Neil, and welcome to Morning Coffee.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we had a big Monday Night Football game last night between the Falcons and the Saints, and well, we thought that the Saints might have been kind of primed there, ready to go, but the Falcons took them out. What happened last night?
What you had was your classic case of two very talented quarterbacks, Matt Ryan for the Atlanta Falcons and Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints, and you had a shootout. I mean, it was an absolute shootout throughout most of the first half, but then starting in the second half, the offense of the Atlanta Falcons just continued to roll. And unfortunately for Drew Brees, since the Saints defense is kind of suspect, if he can't score points of any kind on every single drive, they're just going to continue to struggle and not do well.
Well, you know what? It was a little bit of a touchy week for Saints receiver Willie Snead. You know, he was probably, they were saying they were going back and forth the whole week on whether or not this guy was going to be able to play or not. And, you know, fantasy owners such as myself who have this guy, I put him on my bench. Thank goodness I did because he didn't end up playing. How much did that hurt kind of the Saints offense? I mean, they still put up 35 points, but, you know, when you're missing a receiver like Snead, did that impact the game the way I think it did?
I think the offense of the Saints still did very well. They scored 30-plus points against a pretty talented Atlanta Falcons defense. They made a couple of good plays at the end there, including getting an interception return for a touchdown on Drew Brees. But, yeah, I definitely would think that without Willie Snead in the game, it was an impact. Snead caught the only touchdown pass of the game in the Saints' loss last week against the Giants in week
right.
2. And he's obviously been a big contributor so far in the early going. So Drew Brees had to rely a lot more on people like Brandon Cooks, Brandon Coleman, a lot of other people that kind of get it going, including Kobe Fleener. And so he had to rely on a lot of other guys that might not have had as good of a start as Willie Snead has had.
So the division now, I know the Eagles are in a bye week this week. What's going on with the Giants?
Well, the Giants are coming off a very tough loss against the Washington Redskins last week. And to be honest with you, it was a trap game. They're coming in, they were 2-0. A lot of people are praising them. I know a lot of Giants fans that were getting well ahead of themselves saying, oh, the Giants look like they're going to go to the Super Bowl this year, and they're going to easily beat up on the lonely Washington Redskins. And for the beginning of that game, it looked like the Giants were going to win this game handily. But they turned over the ball several times. Two very costly interceptions by Eli Manning and a fumble by Shane Vereen really kept the Redskins in it. But the one thing that really was frustrating was seeing how emotional Odell Beckham was on the sidelines. He was really overreacting a lot, and he really needed to calm down because it was really taking a toll on the rest of the team.
Yeah, my favorite play of the game was when he got hit in the face with the goalpost, that he was like the kicking net. When he was like being a pouty little baby on the sideline, and he like threw the ball, like kicked, and then the goal came back and like hit him in the face. That was great.
Yeah, it was like on "Come On, Man" on a Monday Night Countdown. So
Yeah.
that was definitely a big thing, and so.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. This division looks like it's going to be a lot more fun than we initially anticipated earlier in the year because the Cowboys, you know, even without Romo, this Prescott looks like he's going to be able to lead this team, you know, to some victories. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over there.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, you know, I got to say, I really love how Carson Wentz has been playing. He looks very, very calm in the game. He seems to really have a good chemistry with his offensive line and the whole offense and the whole team. And I'm very worried about that team being a Giants fan. I'm worried about that they are very good, 3-0 going into their bye week. And not only did they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last week, but they beat them badly.
Yeah.
They really shut down the entire team, and they looked phenomenal doing it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're nervous because you should be. Because Carson Wentz is the next Joe Montana, and we're going to win probably the next 6 or 7 Super Bowls. So just be ready and get used to that idea because the Wentz wagon is here, baby, and we are about to dominate not just the NFC East, not just the NFC, but the NFL. Here we go. Carson Wentz, North Dakota State. It's happening. It's happening, Neil, whether you want it to happen or not.
Okay. Well, let's wait and see. Let's not get carried away here.
No, of course not. We don't overreact as Philly fans, not at all, not at all. So I need to switch gears real quick and get into some sad stories. The first one, we lost a legend. We lost the golf legend Arnold Palmer over the weekend, and it's not just because of that delicious drink that was his favorite, that half iced tea, half lemonade. We're talking about a guy that popularized golf to the level that we're kind of seeing it today. So tell me a little bit about the impact of Arnold Palmer and his life.
Yes, well, to continue with your story, Arnold Palmer, unfortunately, a couple of days ago, passed away at the age of 87. Like you said, he is a living legend. He is probably one of the greatest golfers ever. And you know what's interesting is that he never really won that many tournaments, that many big things, but he had such an impact on the game by showing his love and his passion for not only just the sport, but the fans that were watching, and just the marketing, obviously, with his famous Arnold Palmer drink. It's just kind of a big impact. I was watching a little segment on BBC right before they did the presidential campaign, and they were talking about Arnold Palmer and how much of an impact he's made on many people's lives. And it was just incredible, and it's just very sad, obviously, to see him pass, but you know what? Sometimes it happens, and we have to move on with things. But he will definitely be missed, and definitely, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest golfers ever.
Well, you can't really argue with that, and it's kind of how the history kind of works is that Ben Hogan really put golf on the map, and then Arnold Palmer really popularized the sport in the 60s, and then Jack Nicklaus came in the 70s and 80s, and then Tiger obviously in the 90s. So without Arnold Palmer, his impact, you don't see golf become the sport that it is today. And part of it was that Arnold Palmer was a real good-looking, very likable guy. It was he was somebody that was able to translate the sport to a lot of people that didn't understand or didn't really get the sport of golf, and his impact, will be felt for generations to come. That was a tough loss for the world of golf and for just America in general, because Arnold Palmer he was an icon, and he was still doing commercials, and he was still in the public eye up until his dying day. So, cheers to a great life of Arnold Palmer. And another tragic accident over the weekend saw Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez pass away at 24 years old. This kid, his story was amazing. He had defected from Cuba, right?
Yep.
And came to become a Major League Baseball player, and he was just so full of life. He was so amazing to watch. When he was pitching, he was an intense competitor. When he was on the bench, he was the guy that was always having fun. He was always in the game. He was always about being a part of his team and with his teammates, and he really was just a special personality. So let's talk a little bit about the life of Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, well, that was very tough to hear. That was pretty early in the morning that everyone got that news, and I had to read it several times to figure out this was true. I mean, this kid, 24 years old, like you said, came from Cuba, and he was just a fun-loving guy from what I was told. A guy who was just very happy to be in the United States, happy to be playing the sport that he loves, making millions of dollars, really just enjoying himself. And I honestly believe that he was definitely going to be one of the up-and-coming pitchers in the major leagues. I really thought that he could develop into a number one starter for maybe the Marlins or another club, and really go on to have a successful career. And it's very sad. The accident he had, it was a boat accident. Reports are coming in that it had nothing to do with drugs or drinking or anything like that. It was just a bad accident with some technology on the boat itself. But it's very sad to hear. And I watched a little bit of the pregame of the Marlins-Mets game, and they did a very nice thing where they circled around the pitcher's mound, and they gave him such a big moment of silence. And after the Marlins won the game, all the players on the Marlins left their hats on the mound as a sign of respect for the man. And another really emotional but very special thing was D. Gordon, the leadoff hitter. He wore Jose Fernandez's batting helmet and batted right on the first pitch of the game. And then, if this isn't Hollywood enough, he comes up, he stays in that same at bat. He hits a leadoff home run and gets the game going. I mean, that you couldn't write a better script than that. So it was definitely an emotional day yesterday. But sometimes things like baseball and sports in general are a good way to heal all wounds.
That was really amazing what D. Gordon did. I mean, he goes to the right side with Fernandez's helmet on. He takes the pitch, and then the bat boy runs out, gives him his helmet. He goes to the left side. It's the next pitch, Neil. He goes yard. He hits a home run on the next pitch. As he's crossing home plate, the tears are flowing, and his teammates meet him. He gets back into the dugout. All of the guys are just crying their eyes out. The emotions were running so high. He was such a loved member of that team and a wonderful person, and it was really sad because, look, you take the baseball and the sports out of it. We just had a young person whose life was cut short, and we were lucky, I guess, as Phillies fans and Mets fans to be able to see this kid pitch a lot and just how much he enjoyed the game and all of that. It was our condolences go out to the family and to the Marlins and to everybody. It just was a really, really tough situation. We still there? There you go.
Yep, still there.
All right. So, Neil, MVP show on Saturday. How did it go?
It went really well, honestly. I really thought I was able to get down to the nitty-gritty of college football. Most of my predictions did not go the way I thought.
Yeah, good call on the Penn State-Michigan game. Michigan blew them out.
Yeah, I'm really glad I even gave that a thought.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty proud of myself for the Rutgers-Iowa game. I'm pretty proud that I chose Rutgers in that one.
Yeah. Good call there. The prognosticator. It's all good, Neil. It's all good. You got to take chances. So I want to thank you for spending a few minutes with me this morning. Make sure you check out Neil Villapiano every Saturday right here on Radio Vision Network, the MVP show. Neil, thanks for hopping on, and have a great day.
No problem. You too.
Thanks, Neil. So I got to take a quick break here on Morning Coffee, but stick around. Jim Cuccinata is here with his Halo Health Report. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you stay right there here on the Radio Vision Network.
Saving your business money is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Tanker Consulting Services, a payment solutions expert, will show you how with a free, detailed, written analysis illustrating your cost savings. We usually uncover savings between 10